I'm sure we have all heard the terms such as dopamine and serotonin being thrown around all the time, but what do they actually do? They are considered neurotransmitters, which are essentially messages sent by each neuron to another neuron or to another cell. Each different neurotransmitter has a different function and flavor, conveying different information. In this video, I'll explain the function of every single neurotransmitter, or the common ones at least. Starting off, we have acetylcholine, which is responsible for muscle movement. This chemical translates our thoughts into action, so if you lift your hand, the process of converting the intention into actual hand movement is thanks to acetylcholine. It is also responsible for learning and memory in our brain, so a lack of this chemical will lead to Alzheimer's disease, while an abundance of this chemical will lead to too much muscle contraction, which causes seizures. Next, we have dopamine, which is commonly referred to as the pleasure chemical. Whenever we do something pleasurable, such as exercising or let's say winning the lottery, our brain rewards ourselves with dopamine. Furthermore, dopamine is also responsible for motivation and muscle movement, which is why a lack of dopamine often leads to Parkinson's disease. However, a high level of dopamine is just as dangerous since it may lead to addictions, as people tend to repeat behaviors and activities that give them the dopamine to an unhealthy amount. Next, we have glutamate, which is the most common neurotransmitter in your brain. Its primary function is to create new neurological pathways and repair the central nervous system, which means that it is responsible for learning and memory. Too much of glutamate can lead to death of neurons due to stroke, while a lack of glutamate leads to poor concentration and insomnia. Next, we have serotonin, which is the happiness chemical that regulates your mood. A lack of serotonin is linked to depression, which can be caused by a lack of exercising or a lack of exposure to light. This is why seasonal affective disorder, appropriately also named SAD, is quite common, as a lack of light exposure during winter may lead to more symptoms of depression. Furthermore, serotonin also helps with food digestion and maintaining our circadian rhythm for sleep. Next, we have adrenaline, which is the neurotransmitter responsible for the fight or flight response. When our body is stressed or scared, adrenaline floods our systems to increase heart rate, muscle contractions, breathing rate, and much more. It is very useful to us when we were running away from lions a long time ago. But now many people under constant stress experience the same fight or flight responses every moment. This can lead to high blood pressure, diabetes, and other heart problems. Exercising and meditating are scientifically proven methods to turn off the constant adrenaline rushes. Similarly, we have noradrenaline, a neurotransmitter responsible for maintaining focus and increasing reaction speed. Together with adrenaline, they both play a role in the fight or flight response, but noradrenaline also may be linked to post-traumatic stress disorder, which is still under study. Next, we have GABA, or gamma-aminobutyric acid. It is the neurotransmitter responsible for calming things down and inhibiting neurons firing in the central nervous system. This means that GABA is also responsible for mood control. Too much of it may lead to extreme daytime sleepiness, as the cells are being calmed down too much, and too little GABA may lead to anxiety and restlessness, as there won't be chemicals calming the brain down. Lastly, we have endorphins, the euphoria neurotransmitter. They are the chemicals best known as the body's natural painkillers, as they cause your body to relax and slow down the breathing. However, too much of it will cause breathing to stop completely, as in the case with opioid drug overdoses. Endorphins also trigger the release of dopamine, which means that a lack of endorphin may cause depression as well. And that's all the most common types of neurotransmitters. I hope that you guys have learned something new today, and thank you very much for sticking to the end.